Thank you.
No problem. Ma'am, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Good. So, what is cheating?
What you said, cyber, talking on the phone, giving heart emojis on Facebook, going to see the other person every other week, visit, even having a communication with somebody that you call a friend and you always surround your friend. I was in a situation where I'm 35 years old and I have 4 children. I had 2 kids before my last relationship that ended 2 years ago. He had this
Mm-hmm.
best friend tell me, "Oh, this is my best friend. This is my best friend." Bring her around and everything. And I was naive because I stayed around thinking, hey, maybe this is just his friend. I don't want to be so insecure like ding dong, that's not his friend. That's somebody else. But long story short, on your topic, when you said who do you think cheat the most between men and women, I honestly think, and I hope y'all don't get mad at me, that women cheat more only because no, my daughter said they
Now,
think they
in
can get
what
away with everything.
more in what areas do they cheat more?
And they more in the emotional area.
So the emotional area, you're right, it's at a 90% rate when the men is at a 72, I mean at a 77% rate. So you're
Just a
right.
little.
It is.
I think women more because it's this. It don't have really much to do with her just trying to be a player or a pimp or anything like that. I think it got a lot more to do with she can't control her emotions of her man ignoring her. He's not giving her physical contact. He's not
Well,
communicating
hold
with
on,
her
hold on,
right.
hold
He's
on,
not
hold on, ma'am,
appreciative.
hold on, ma'am,
So that makes the
ma'am,
woman
ma'am. Before you even speak on
step
that,
outside.
ma'am, ma'am, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ma'am, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I
Phone,
hear you.
phone, yeah, your phone is breaking up real bad.
It shouldn't be.
Okay, I can hear you now.
Can you hear
Before you,
me?
okay, I can hear you
Okay.
now. Before you get into all of that, before you talk about all of that, how old are you?
35.
Are you
Well,
married?
practically 36. Never
Are you
been proposed to 3 times and said no.
okay? Propose don't count. Do you have any children?
4,
You got 4 children. How many children fathers do you have?
3,
Got 3 fathers. I mean, 4 children by 3 fathers. The first guy. How old is your oldest child?
17,
Wow. Okay. And how old is your youngest?
4,
4. So that means 4 years ago you was in a relationship.
2 years ago.
And who ended the relationship?
I did
Why did you end it?
because he was a cheater. He was
Did you have
abuser, really. He was abusive,
hold
physical.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Before you start on him, or I'm asking about you because he's not here to defend himself. What did you do?
Caught him up with his best friend, start
You started doing what?
catching on with him and his best friend.
What you mean catching on with him and his best friend?
I think that it caused him to be more disruptive and more disrespectful towards me in a relationship because he felt like, well, I found somebody. So if you was to let go, I won't give 2 F's. But when he started realizing like I'm slipping away and I'm getting tired of it and I'm leaving it, he started getting abusive. I stayed around this long. I did this for you, that for you. You just gonna up and leave me? You know how many men stick around women? They done had babies on these women. They done did this, but I don't have to tolerate what everybody else tolerate.
All right, check this out. Let me help you out with something because once again, I don't. If he was here, it speak on his behalf. Okay. Um, when it comes to on your side, that's why I asked you what did you do, right? You had a gentleman. Was one of the men that proposed to you?
Yes.
Okay. You had a man. How did y'all meet?
Through a friend, through one of my long-term associates. She seen him at her house and thought that I'd be a good woman for him. Introduced us, and since then we just been kicking it.
Y'all been kicking it. Okay.
Yeah, we've been kicking it, and I broke up with him for like
Hold on. Hold on. When y'all when y'all actually came together to say we're going to as a relationship, he took you and three of your children in.
2 of my children, 2 by him.
You got two by him. Okay, so he brought in two of the men's children.
Practically 1 because my 10-year-old stayed with her dad. My 17-year-old just here.
Okay, so did you give up custody to the father?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
I ain't giving him custody of my baby.
Well, you all's baby. But hold on 1 second, Freeze. The reason why I asked that is because I may be wrong, okay? Because one thing about this page here, I'm all about some things I'm going to tell you stuff that you're not going to like. And I tell people, if you agree with me, that means I'm not doing my job.
I know
So,
constructive criticism. I'm good
cool.
at it.
Okay. Just to make sure we're on the same page. Number one is all day long, if a man is able to take you in another man's children in, it's about the integrity of this man. He's willing to take that in. Because a lot of men don't do that, especially take up on another man's seed.
Can
Right?
I
So
tell you something before you finish that?
go ahead.
I actually got him out of his situation. He was homeless at a park, nowhere to
Mm-hmm.
go, and I pulled him out of the cold because we was together years previous to me finding out his situation. He started doing real bad, and I didn't like the fact that he was doing so bad. So I just took the matters initiative in my hand and say, you know what? I think I'm capable of loving him this time.
This
We was
time.
young. We
Oh Lord.
27. 27. I never cheated on him. We was 27. I was 27. He was 23 when we first got together. I'm 35. He 31 now. We broke
Ma'am,
up because I found out he was cheating. We
ma'am,
had
ma'am,
$100,000 that day I met him.
ma'am. Do you believe in poly relationships?
Now I'm in study of it because I'm going into Hebrew Israelism, Hebrew Israelite. My
No.
family
It's a yes or
converted,
no question.
so
It's a yes or no question. Okay.
no, because
Maybe
I
it's a
don't,
yes.
not yet. I don't know yet.
Okay. So, um, the answer would be yes, because you're in a poly relationship anyway with any man that you get into a relationship with, because you came in with children, which means that you have multiple baby daddies that you would have as a family function, whether you like it or not, whether you talk to them or
I
not,
never
live in the
heard of
same.
that. I like that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So a lot of people probably surprised that I'm up here. You know what I'm saying. I support OG with all his stuff. Anybody I can catch, Nate, all of them. So I'm actually taking a week, 2 weeks off for the podcast. 'Cause I got a lot of stuff to deal with, but and handle business wise. So, ma'am, what you have is something that you don't realize. If you notice when you talked about your relationship, y'all women get so triggered that y'all answer emotionally versus logically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but that's the
I'm,
old me.
I'm gonna tell you what. Well, no, that's to you right now because you just did it. So what I'm saying is, when he asked you what happened, the first thing you said was he cheated, and then you say, well, really, he was an abuser. Well, why wouldn't you name the abuse first? You see
Why
what I'm
would I
saying?
what?
Why wouldn't you name the abuse first
Because he
versus
cheated
cheating?
before he put his hands on me.
Okay, but the thing is, he cheated on you before he put his hands on you. But majority of people stay together after infidelity happens.
Mm,
So if you stayed after that anyway, that's not the reason you broke up, right? Now, did you stay
yeah.
after he put his hands on you?
3 times, like a
Yes.
fool.
So that
I
wasn't the
was
reason. So that wasn't the reason you broke up. What was the real reason that you finally said this is the last straw? Because he already did everything to you. He just kept doing it repetitive. And what made you
okay.
leave
The
to another
word that
man?
I've learned, narcissist. He was an abuser.
Okay,
He was really
well, ma'am,
abusive.
you didn't, ma'am. Hold on. Let's go ahead and stop right there. You're not gonna go out here and get false prefixes on things that you don't know about, right? Because, in order to label somebody a narcissist, you would have to be licensed by the state. Are you licensed by the state?
No,
And it's
but
only,
I'm
and it's
empath
only,
though.
and
By
it's only
God.
point, ma'am, and it's only point zero. What you say?
No, I'm not licensed by state. I'm empath by God, honey. I can read you without you
Ma'am,
even.
ma'am,
All you
well,
got to do
ma'am,
is come
ma'am, no,
around me.
you, ma'am. It's just crazy to me how you women act like y'all can read so many men, but you couldn't read the fact that you was gonna have three baby daddies. I don't understand that. You couldn't read that that man was homeless for a reason. You couldn't read that that man was going to put his hands on you. You couldn't read that that man was cheating on you with that same woman that was in front of your face. But you think you can read me? You can't read me, ma'am. This book is in hieroglyphics. And last time I checked, you don't know how to read that. So you just said something that didn't go over. You get defensive for no reason, ma'am. I'm just sitting there explaining and giving you some game. Ain't that what y'all want us to do? Y'all want us to give y'all game, do you not?
Yeah.
So if I'm giving you game, why is you coming back and giving me pushback? Well, the guy, I don't have. Do you have a license? Yes or no? The answer would be no.
No, I
All
don't.
this God stuff. This God stuff. Let me give you an example. Did you know that the Bible was written in a time where white people didn't even exist? The Bible times that they
Shalom.
speak about, white people didn't even exist. So how could they write about it? Don't worry about it. Another thing, y'all keep talking
Shalom.
about God. Y'all keep talking about God. Like y'all forget that that's the name that the English language gave us. They took everything from us, our whole belief system, and yet y'all are still running behind, believing that somebody that you can't see ain't never met. Hell, y'all ain't even met Uncle Sam yet. Y'all give him more respect than your man. You do everything Uncle Sam
I,
tell
I
your
think
ass to
I
do.
think I think I'm sorry, I ain't trying to cut you off, but I think you
Go
missed the
ahead.
point when I said that I'm converting into Hebrew Israelism.
No,
Me and
no,
my
I didn't, I
family,
didn't, I didn't miss it. No, I didn't miss
we
it because,
modest wear. We don't even wear jeans.
ma'am, I didn't miss it. I heard it, and it was bullshit. That's why I didn't. That's why I
Right,
didn't
but
respond.
you telling me about the Bible that comes with Israel,
No,
like your
no, no,
lost
ma'am,
history, the
ma'am,
12
ma'am,
lost
ma'am. If
tribes, the book
this,
of
ma'am,
Enoch that
okay,
comes with the
okay,
history of
ma'am,
being an
okay, ma'am,
Israelite.
ma'am, you're not an Israelite. You weren't born in Israel. Okay, you can't convert to be something that you're not. That's just not how it works. Okay, and y'all women don't
Hebrew.
even understand this. Y'all don't understand these things. Y'all just sit here and run your mouth. Y'all don't even understand that you can't just up and just become an Israelite because you want to be. That's not how it works, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you say these things, and you talking about, well, that's the Bible. I just told you that the Bible was written in the time of the time frame that they talk about. White people weren't even in existence. You get what I'm saying? So for them
Mm-hmm.
to be able to write something and control your mindset, did you know that the reason that they made women's rights available is so that they can create the school system so they can control your children's minds and thinking, because while you're at work, they control what your kids do at school and learn and literature.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible is based on what? Since this is what I want y'all women to start doing this. Before y'all
Hey,
speak on something, know what you're speaking on.
please hold on 1 second. Somebody asked
Go
what
ahead.
were the white. Well, they was labeled white in like in the 1600s. You got to realize Europeans. Before then, it was Europe. It was labeled Europeans. So because that's what happened with the whole concept when they invaded. We're completely off topic, and I hate to do that. That's when
Well,
they invaded Menefer, Egypt, and all that stuff, and a lot of stuff. Because you got to realize where the whole concept of the Bible even came from, right? But that's
yeah.
another topic. Not want to talk about that right now. We're
Well,
gonna stay on the.
the reason I did that is because she brought up the topic of the Bible, and what I
Mm-hmm.
explained was, and it was going to double back to what she was saying. Because
Yeah, I got
OG,
you.
you know me, I can
Oh yeah.
I can multitask.
Oh yeah.
So what happened is the Bible is based off Hebrew mythology. Hebrew mythology, a mythos, a myth, is non-existent. You understand what I'm saying? So with you, and
Mm-hmm.
there's proof of that. The data is there. There's proof that it's based on Hebrew mythology, because after the Hebrew language, the language that they used the majority of the time was what? Greek. Greek
Hebrew
mythology.
and Greek. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you're following the teaching of nothing. So for you to be an expert in the Bible means you're the expert of nothing. Because that man right there, Great Vibes, can write his own Bible based on his lifestyle. He can write a Bible saying that, hey, do not put your hand on the stove when the eye is turned on because it will burn you. Scientifically proven, yes, but he has seen that it will burn his hand. You see what I'm saying? So y'all
Mm-hmm.
got to start looking at the logic behind things versus looking at some excuse to hold on to something else instead of just understanding a feminine nature of a woman. Just understand that. You got up here and said, I can read you, but you couldn't read your situation now. You know what I'm saying? You could read it. You should have been able to read that left hand hook coming back to you. You see what I mean? So y'all get excited and y'all say these things, stand on nothing. You got to be able to stand on something. Because if you can't stand for nothing, you can't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. So what is to go back to what we're talking about is you have to realize the things that you're doing and what you chose to do. And was that okay and was it not okay? Because you brought them out of the mud, understandable. But you didn't have to do that, right?
Absolutely.
So you chose to do that. So now you play what they call Captain Saber what?
Captain Saberhole. Sorry.
I knew you was gonna say that one. So now you got Captain Saber, you know what, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now guess who ran the house? Who was the masculine one in the house?
Captain Saberhole.
And and that's why I let you go into the Bible. That's why I let you go into the Bible terms, because I knew that what you didn't realize was that you were drowning yourself right when you talked.
Yeah.
Because you ran everything. You brought him out of it, so he can't come in your house and tell you what to do on a bitch.
And that's where the abuse came
How
in.
dare
You're
he?
absolutely right.
How dare he? How dare he tell you what to do in your shit? Come on now,
Make that make sense.
Now talk that shit. Talk that shit like you talked to him when he was in your house and he told
nigga, get your
he
ass the fuck out of here. Get
way.
your shit, sir.
Wow. And that's all she wrote, OG.
No, I'm just playing. I ain't gonna do that. I never did it though.
OG, ma'am, have y'all ever argued?
Yeah. After so many.
No, don't you pretty that shit up. Don't you pretty that shit up. No, ma'am. Absolutely.
I'm not gonna pretty it up. I'm telling the truth.
No, so but listen, it's a yes or no, baby. It's a yes or no question. Did y'all argue a lot?
Yeah, but I started arguing back with him like 6 months into the
relationship.
Shut it up. Quiet.
Shut it up. Answer the question, dog. The answer would be yes.
Yeah, I argue with him.
That means you're combative. That means you're a combative woman. No further questions, Yana.
Oh, I'm sorry. No cussing. The live will get banned.
So basically, he brought up several good points. You know, anytime, you know, based on even with your energy, have you ever got into counseling from the first relationship?
No, I haven't.
Now, I'm going to ask you a very important question, and I know the answer to this already. I just need to hear you say it. Was you raised in a 2-parent household?
I wasn't raised by now one of my parents. I was a lost child. I raised myself 3.
Lifestyle has completely shown proof of it. Because what you are searching for, the reason why you jump stay stable, is because you missing what your mother and your father could not give you. That's why you're moving around. That's why you're not mentally stable. And what you are doing is at the age of 35, 36, you're moving like a child. You're going through different relationships and having different babies. Now these children got to see their mother jump around. And what you think that's going to do to your children?
Sir, I haven't been in a relationship in 2 years. No sex.
Ma'am,
none of that.
Now listen. When you're in these relationships, these different relationships, it doesn't matter. Using these different relationships, your children have to see this. So what example are you setting for your children? These are things we as parents before we decide to do something like that. That's why I brought up counseling. Because you would have went through counseling even after the first time, they would have set you down. They would have grabbed your hand and set you down. And you wouldn't have moved like the way you did. You'll be more in a mental stable place. And you would have been a whole lot better.
Absolutely.
All right. So my suggestion to you is you need to get professional. Like
go to counseling.
Like tomorrow you need to get some counseling. Like
yesterday. Yesterday.
So because you are having childhood issues you have not dealt with. That's why you always screaming and cussing and out of relationships and just all over the place. Where are you from?
I'm born in Delaware and I'm raised in Michigan.
So you in Michigan?
I live in Ohio right now because I got away from my abuser.
Jesus. Oh Lord! Oh Lord!
I only been here 1 year. Don't start. Been here 1 year. Don't start.
So
I just did the right thing and got away from my abuser to show my oldest daughter a better example. She's 8 years older than my second child. But I was with my second child's father since my 17-year-old was born.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on, baby. Hold on. Hey, hold on now. Seinfeld, you might learn something. You giving yourself credit for stuff that we didn't say you didn't get credit for. You see how defensive you are? You don't even
No, I'm
realize
not
who
being
told you
defensive.
that
I'm
you
just
didn't
trying
do
to make
right,
sure y'all not
bro.
missing nothing.
Man, no, that's called being defensive because nobody asked you if we're missing anything, man. He told you what you're missing, and that was therapy, professional help. You so ready to go. You so ready to be on defense. You don't even realize it. Like nobody got up here and said nothing about why you left. I just said, oh Lord, because the places that you live in, there, baby, you know that ain't it. Come on now, that is not it. You name states that I got homies in each one of them states, and each one of them moved away.
But which part of Ohio though?
You said what?
Which part of Ohio though?
Ma'am. First of all, Ohio is not a money state. You know that.
Absolutely not.
Don't do
Absolutely.
that, ma'am. I'm very good at this, and there's a reason I'm very good at this. I won't even open up one of my companies in Ohio, and it's no disrespect to Ohio, but they ain't got enough money over there for us. So there's a reason. So, ma'am, if you have multiple children, you need more what?
Or more money?
You don't know. Oh, Lord. Girl, I know you. See, you so ready to be defensive, you can't even answer a question that's logical. God damn. Come on, Cletus. You got to do better than that. Now you need money now. Come on now. You got to do better than that. You know better than that now. You know better than that now.
Michelle, I see you. I see you waiting. But everything that we are telling you, because yes, you are very defensive, but even while you are talking, I'm listening to how you responding. And yes, I can tell you right now, you have a terrible attitude and a terrible mouth on you.
My attitude is terrible, off the chain.
Well, it's all based on presentation. Yesterday, me and my other partner was on here. Actually, it was this morning. Uh, uh, Freeze, you know who I'm talking about, Nate. Nate was on here, and we could tell the energy between the women that's stable and that's married and that's in long-term relationships versus the energy and the mindset of women that's single with children. The conversation is totally different, and you can hear the energy in the voice, the way y'all portraying it, just even talking. That's why I asked you, was you raised in a dual parent household? Because even when you speak, when you talk, I hear hurt, I hear neglect, and I hear that you got to have these walls up. That's why you're coming out on a defense mode, because it's you against the world. And you have been in and out. You move from state to state. You move from relationship to relationship. Now you have children by different men. You are not stable because of something you haven't dealt with from a child. So you got to get help like now. You're 35 years old. You should have.
I used to go through counseling for 10 years. I'm good.
Hold on. What type of? No, you're
My
not
my
good,
my psych my counselor told me I don't even need it.
ma'am. Just me. I don't even know you. I don't know you, and I could tell you.
Whoever told you that, he lying. Whoever that was your counselor, fire him. Fire him right now.
I'm
You
about to
can
fire
hear.
you.
Cut him off. Don't talk to him ever again in life. If
No,
he
I'm
told you
about to
anything.
fire you.
Wait, what? What you
I'm about
say?
to fire you.
Ma'am, you couldn't fire me because you wouldn't even be able to afford to hire me. Don't worry about it.
How
You
you see
can't,
what I'm
ma'am.
saying? You talking about
Last time I checked, I don't
but
have
how do
three
you
baby
know
mamas out here
that
running around.
though? How do you know that though? How do you know that though?
Ma'am, everybody in the
Listen,
live has seen what you just said. Ma'am,
It doesn't matter. It
ma'am,
doesn't
everybody in the
matter to
live
me
seen
what
what you just
everybody in
did.
the live seen or
Ma'am,
what
there's no,
they think.
ma'am, do you
Nobody.
know that there's supposed to be, ma'am, there's supposed to be a date where you actually graduate from therapy, not 10 years straight and get where you're at now, which means that
I've
therapy
been
was
going through
working in
therapy
reverse.
since 1990 to
Okay,
2000,
but that's the problem.
2004,
That's
and
the
they said I
problem,
didn't need it.
ma'am. Okay, ma'am. What you don't realize is therapy can be an addiction and your crutch, which means that it's not working. In the words of Lauryn Hill, it ain't working. Okay, so you need to stop and bring it down because you went to therapy for 10 years and you ended up like this with three baby daddies, ma'am. You failed. Whoever was in your therapy sessions didn't. They failed you. They didn't give you the right. They didn't give you the right thing. Okay,
Because that's not
you
what my
getting
therapy
definitive.
sessions was about. My therapy session was about me not having
Your
my parents,
therapy
though. That's
session was
something
about
you,
your life.
before
Your
you
therapy
answer a
session, but
question,
listen,
if you were so smart,
listen.
you would
Your
ask somebody a
therapy.
question. You
No,
didn't
no,
even
ma'am.
ask
Because
me,
what you don't
what was you
realize is
going
you
to
have therapy
therapy
based on
for? You know
trauma
what I'm
of your
saying?
life.
You just instantly
Ma'am,
jumping your
therapy is
gun
based
saying
on
that
your
I need help.
life,
You didn't even
which means
ask
it
me, what
affects
was
your
you in therapy
choices.
for? I was in therapy because by
No,
the time I turned
ma'am,
8
it
years
affect.
old,
If
I
you went there for
realized my
10
auntie
years,
wasn't my mother, and
that
I
means
went
you were
crazy
going. You say you went
psychologically.
there for 10 years.
Y'all,
I didn't jump no gun, ma'am. You jumped the
You
gun and said
did. You
10
instantly
years.
told me my
I
therapist
didn't jump the
failed me.
gun.
That's
You
why I'm
jumped the gun
jumping.
and
First of
thought you
all, that's not nothing
you
to
jumped the
even
gun and
joke
thought that
about.
your
That
therapy was
somebody
working
jumped
after 10 years,
from
and it
baby
wasn't.
daddy
It
to
failed
baby
you for 10
daddy.
years.
Like I said, I don't care what you say. I'm proud of the moves I
Ma'am, you
made,
did.
and I'm proud of doing what I'm doing. I got
I'm
a master's degree,
you said
two
what?
of
Hold
them.
on, hold on. You say
I
hold
got
on.
two masters.
Okay,
I
but you
have
got a
two
master's degree.
masters.
You got two masters, ma'am. It's funny. It's funny to me that you women can go and do anything for the Uncle Sam and put yourself in debt with Uncle Sam, but you can't keep your household
But
together,
how
ma'am.
you know I
So
wasn't in debt?
what you
How you
just
know?
said,
How you know my daddy didn't die and pay for my college fees? How you know I didn't
ma'am,
graduate
ma'am,
last year? You
ma'am,
see what I'm saying?
ma'am, ma'am,
I
ma'am,
don't even
ma'am.
owe
Hold on,
college
hold
fees.
on,
What do you
hold on,
mean, Uncle
ma'am. You
Sam? I don't
just,
even live on
ma'am, hold on.
welfare.
What, ma'am? You just said something else that
I
didn't
see you
go
got
over
a
because
problem with thinking
it
when you
takes
online with African
13,000.
American
No,
women, you
ma'am,
think that you
ma'am,
can just talk
ma'am,
down on
ma'am.
us.
You
No,
just said
sir.
something. No, ma'am. I'm telling you a
I
fact.
might
You're
got
in
more
debt.
than you right
You're
now.
in, no. I guarantee you that your checks do not be bigger than mine for the year. You put your
How
money
do
up.
you
Big
know
bank take
that
little money.
though?
I
How
guarantee
do
you
you
won't
know
put your.
that
I
though?
guarantee you won't put your check up.
How
I
do
made
you
more
know
money in
that
3 months.
though?
I made more money in 3 months than you did in a year. I guarantee it. You better stop playing with me. Cause like big bank take we don't talk opinions over here. We talk facts. So, ma'am, you're in debt because you have multiple children. What's the average cost that it cost for a child to be raised in the USA? Do you know?
I got
Per
it right.
year.
Keep going.
$13,500. So you multiply 13,000 times three of your children because you don't have custody of one of them, ma'am. You're in debt. How do you know my dad didn't? I didn't ask. It's not about your college. I said debt. She's so dang happy that she want to sit there. Oh well, I did it. I got two masters. You got two masters with a broken home. So what are you bragging about? Why do women brag about being broken? You bragging about what you did, but you can't tell me what you did for your children. You did the master's degree for you. You can't even keep a man. It's the third baby daddy. What you gonna do? Get a fourth in the hill? What you
Hold
think?
on.
You gonna date Future? That ain't
Hey,
work out.
freeze. Hold on 1 second. Greek goddess. You say, are they ridiculing her for being educated, ma'am? We could care less about the degree because if you listen to her and her background, the things that she's been through, you can hear in her voice that she's still dealing with childhood hurt, childhood separation. She mentioned that she didn't even know her parents. But then she later said, how do you know if I pay for my degrees from my father's death? She said she didn't even know her parents.
Well, then,
So, so,
exactly.
so with that being said, ain't nobody ridiculing her for her being educated, but you got to look at her situation. She's not being stable. We could care less about the education because education right now is not helping her situation out. She's moving around. We gave her advice exactly what to do. Stay on the defense mode. Anytime that you don't have before I even spoke to her, I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to say some things that you're not going to like. I don't want you to agree with me. These are things are to help you become a better version of yourself. But our black women got
Check this out.
hold on 1 second. A lot of black women got upset with me when I said between the age of 8 and 32, you need to be like a laser pointed to get yourself together. Because after 35, 36, now you becoming within your own mindset to where can nobody tell you nothing, and you just experienced that. So yes, women, y'all wonder why men, when they get in that state where they're going to sit down for marriage and also long-term relationship, they go for younger women. Because look at that right there. What y'all go ahead, Freeze.
Oh no, I was gonna say you absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? You hit the bullseye on it. But what they don't realize is, like you said, women run their mouth. You let a woman talk long enough, a combative woman gonna tell on herself. She said, "Look, listen to what she said. I didn't get raised by none of my parents. I raised myself." Well, that was a lie because in order for you to be a child, you had to have some kind of adult supervision, whether it was foster care or one of the people in your family, right?
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Family members. She lied about that. We talked about that the other day with somebody else. They got here and say he raised himself. You didn't raise yourself because you couldn't pay bills. And then on top of that, she said she didn't know her parents. Now all of a sudden, how do you know my daddy didn't die? Because you said, based on what you said out of your mouth, ma'am, you didn't know your parents. So how would he leave you something if he didn't know about you and you didn't know about him? Okay, that's another one that didn't go over. Then she said, "Oh, I have 2 master's degrees, ma'am. If you can go and if you can read one fucking page out of a Harry Potter book, you can understand that all you do for a degree is you transfer information that you can get on Google from a book into the answer on a test. That's all that a degree means. It don't mean that you're smart. Because if you was that smart, you wouldn't have had one. You'd have had one baby daddy.